Top of the morning to you. I'm Michael. Grandkids call me Roo. Woo! If it sounds like I'm tired, I am. My lats and my tricep and my bicep and even my core, where I hammered for about 5 hours yesterday. I'm going like, you know what? What makes me think I could just go out and run a marathon without running, building up to it? But I have made a great dent, no and pun intended, in my project that's due this week on my blacksmithing project. So thanks for all of you who turned in. Some of you who watched that. It's kind of audio's hard, but you see what I'm doing. So today I'm working without a net, going outside my box. Yesterday I painted a little bee, and that bee was just pinned in a little box on the 6x6, but I came in a little bit and I just painted this bee. I was working on a pin that I found in a toolbox. Hilarious story. Cleaning up my garage and just old tools I haven't used in a long time. I went, what is that pin doing in here? I don't even remember this. I remember those pins because my boys and I were in search of the pin that we thought would be our pin. Fat chance. But so you do have to change every now and then and adapt. So anyway, in the process, I found this pen. I opened it up and I thought, wow, the roller tip still has wet ink around it. It's a tiny little. It's not needle tip, but it is. It's got a micro ball. I thought it was a felt tip at first, and so wound up putting it on some paper and grabbing my little water brush and hitting it. Took off with black ink. So I painted two bees with that. I painted one the other night when I was sitting here just come in from cleaning up the shop because I had to forge yesterday. This was Thursday night, and Carol's out of town, and so I thought I want some pasta. I really want some carbs. I mean, I just punched it all day, and then lo and behold, I'm getting ready to go to the kitchen. All the power goes off in my neighborhood. I'm like, yes. So I jumped in my car and I drove down to this little place called Portofino. It's a long drive. You got to drive fast to get across the ocean. But I got to Portofino, and lo and behold, I ordered bolognese. Woo, wow! Can't do sausage, but I did the ground beef. And Larry came by and waited on my table and said, "You're an artist." And I go, "No, but I think like one." And so he says, "Me, what is that?" But I do. I think I do too. And so I wound up giving him a painting and painted several more while I was sitting there, small ones. And anyway, talked to two other young men in that restaurant who one sketches all the time, and one asked me if I could draw something for him for a gift for a special one. And I said, "No, you draw it for it. It'll mean so much more." And he goes, wow, okay. Sometimes it's just the encouragement that we need from someone else to keep us in the game. That's why Roost Crew has a community. That's why this community works. You guys encourage me by showing up. I encourage some of you, I hope, by showing you new things that I both do okay in and fail in. And so today I've got both ends of the spectrum. I'm going to show you something that I've done okay on paper, but I'm going to shift gears today, so don't go away. Make sure you got hot tea. I'm going to shift to something, and I'm going to do something that I've never done before with art. No kidding. I'm going to do it right here with a different paint that I've never used before. I'm not going oil on you. I'm not going acrylic on you, but I'm going gouache, which I can't even spell it. It rhymes with squash, which I think it's sort of like painting with the insides of a pumpkin or squash. I think that's why they call it that. But anyway, I have to use it because of the substrate, the base that I'm putting it on. So there's a recap for today's show. Let me say hello to some of you here. And isn't that a great song that I just played? I'm going to put it on again, just as I say hello to some of you here. Here we go. Donna Bullman, thanks for being on the show. Karen Binder, Bender, Cinder, Lori Stanley, Handelmeyer Henderson, Deborah Spangler, Jason Nichols, always good to have you on the show. My wife is actually in New York, was walking in the park yesterday. Went to see My Fair Lady last night. Her friends from Florida, they save up all their money and points as well as Colorado, and so she's putzing around there for a day or so. Any points she has? Sharon Caldwell, thanks for being on the show. G. and Susan Peters, Linda Lightning from Always. Somebody should post to the. Albright, thanks for being up early and on the show. Mickey L.D. Young. Or let me turn this down a little bit. Or is it just loud in my ears? Sandra Stone, thank you for being on the show today. A delightful morning to you too. Sue Kane, all the way from the other side of the globe, man. Thank you for being with us from South Australia. I always love that. Vern Skelly, Vern, I've missed having you. Thank you for your very, very, very kind sweet note from my daughter. And the money's coming in. Some of you still probably haven't gotten. I'm supposed to take all the other addresses to her today. Cards, still cards trip. Getting ready to go serve at a camp for a month. Comes home to do laundry, and then to Argentina. That trip's still coming together. So thank you all for being a part of that and helping her move into her gap year this year. Figure out where she's supposed to be and her calling, her purpose, and then focus and go from there. I love that. In fact, I am that. Kay Marie Piker, thanks for being on the show. Julie Madden Walden, Paul Lindy, Heather Kuhlman, Terry Tardy from beautiful day out in, you got it, Coos Bay, Oregon. I still haven't seen that beautiful, I've flown over it, but I've never seen that beautiful place. June Jones, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate your comments always. Hooking up the plow, I see. You bet I am. Hey, keep your hands to the plow, folks. Stay behind that mule, okay? You can't push a plow, but you can be pulled. I love using gouache. I don't even like eating squash. Okay, so for those of you who like gouache, see, nobody can spell it the same way. It's just like one of those weird words. And Niji Yasutoma calls this gouache. They put a different name on it when I was with them 2 years ago. They sent me what I'm going to use today. And I'll say thank you to them again as I open it. But at the same time, I will tell you this. I didn't care for the name of it then, and I don't care for the name of it now. So I looked to see on their catalog if they changed it, because they used to send me comments and say, hey, what do you think about this? And I said, it sounds a little bit like it's something that you would use in Miss Skelton's third grade class. And so you should call it something else. And I gave them, I'm not going to tell you what I gave them, so that wouldn't be fair. But I gave them a name, and I don't know if they used it or not. Doesn't matter, but they asked me to. And so when people ask me, what do we say about Rue and the Hahn family? Everybody has one opinion. We have 5. That doesn't make us right, okay? But let me go to my desk. I'll show you what I'm painting on here. I'm painting this as a demo this morning, and I'll show you where it came from. It's my rooster. I mean, mine as in this is my style. And then I want to tell you about 2 things. I'm going to get started here real quickly. So a couple minutes. Basically, you paint when you're encouraged to paint. Or you just wake up and you love it so much that it's a passion and you jump into it. Both of those can work together, and they should if your painting is increasing and people are recognizing your style and you feel like you're moving down that road. This is the stuff that I go to in deep with the people who are on Patreon. And so my point of that is that you're the people who are investing a little bit to show up each week and say, here's what I want to do. I want to try this. And I've seen some of the black and white you guys put out this week. And in fact, Jason, I looked again at a couple of your black and whites today. And some of you, Chris, and you're just off the chain. It's just fabulous. So here's where we're going to go. Yeah, outside of the Apple box, you bet. All right, Pat Lightbody, thanks for being on the show. Irene Schwartz, thank you. Have my cup of coffee. Good. Is anybody having problems with audio? I am so sorry. That's nobody's fault but mine. Oh my gosh. That's my fault. Watch this. I'm going to clear the audio up right now. I got in here setting up another camera. Boom. Now the audio is fixed. Forgive me. Sometimes you come in here, produce your own show, and you go from that. You go, and I don't expect anybody else to produce it for me. All right, so here's the painting. You might recognize this as one of Rue paintings. This is the one I ripped a page out of the catalog. This is the Cheap Joe's catalog. When I first met them, this was painted in 2019, and I wanted this stalwart-looking little Rue. I wanted all the hard lines in the watercolor, but I like this rooster, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with him this morning. So I wanted to turn him the other direction and just get a feel. He's not exact. None of my paintings are exact. In fact, the closest thing I've come to making the handles the same was yesterday in blacksmithing. But I've been encouraged to just let my style run. My style started on these little cards just like this right here. In fact, here's some of them. When I was doing a children's ministry, we did something each week on virtues like perseverance, resourcefulness, generosity, forgiveness, knowledge, faith, gratitude, honor, determination. All these were little things. And I started with this pen and this brush and those little pack of papers that I have shown you several times, drawing these little sketches. And they're crude. Look at them. They're third grade sketches, but I'm dealing with K through fifth graders. And so I wanted them to carry this little card home. It went in a little lunchbox that they went home. And when they sat down at the table, they could open up the lunchbox. They all fit right in there. And they could pull out one of these, and it has some questions on the back. It has some references on the back. It has some ideas. And so that was the concept, that not only did they hear something from us, but they took something home. And I would send their parents a note and say, if you hadn't opened that lunchbox, don't make me come over to your house. And so JJ, who put these together for me, after I would put the little comments on there, and she would pull the back of it together, all these little sketches and drawings. If you look at them, they're very Rube Goldberg. There's my first chickens were coming apart right there, coming apart literally, figuratively. There's a water tower. There's bicycle cranks. It's still the Rube stuff that I build today. This is not a, this is, this a Ferris wheel for chickens is called a rotisserie, but you get the idea. So that was the whole thing we did on fairness. So I sketched with this pen, which is now out of print or out of stock. But the other day, my friend JJ, who now works in another place that I see her quite often. She works for a church, and I'm in there doing some consulting every now and then. She brought me this little pen. She said, I thought of you today. I wanted you to have some of these little watercolor pencils. Reminded me of the drawings that we did back in 2006, 2007. And look at them. Look at this little pencil. Yeah, right, JJ. Thanks. I think I could actually paint a little painting with these, though. And so we loved oversized props, and we loved small props when we worked with kids, because they loved both sides of that. So here's what I want to do today, all right? Got some crazy tools on the desk. There they are. Take a look at them. And I got some crazy paint. I'm going to show it to you right here. This is my model. I've clipped this on the board right here so you can see. But at this point in time, I'm going to use this one now because I've got him going left instead of right. And but I'll put both of them over there. So I'm going to put that right there and leave that down on the floor. There's another canvas over here. Did he say canvas? Yes, he did. Okay. The painting that I just did was on Kilimanjaro 140-pound black white. Man, I love buying the 9x12, and I just rip a piece in half, cut a piece in half, and that's been my paper. If you got some questions, I'll get to them a little bit. Any failures in painting that you've learned from to embrace? Any failures in painting that you have learned to embrace or pivot from? I think I'm sure there have been, but I don't. I have tried to do more with watercolor than just put it on paper. I've put it on wood before, and I've done really well. You just got to back off and go treat it like oil paint and let it dry, and then come back and do another coat. And then you have to seal it with something. But I've learned a lot. Mostly, I've learned this. I need to go back to the basics always, and that's sketch better, sketch better, sketch better, sketch better. And so those of you who have a handle on that, by being able just to draw what you see, where you are, that's why I've fallen in love with journals so much. I know you've probably watched the show Portrait Artist of the Year. It's a very British show. You're like, what? I can't understand anything they say, so I turn it up louder, and I still have to, I wanted to slow it down so I can say, did he just say pint? Or what did he say? Did he pint or paint or point? Or I don't know, but I love it because it just sounds intelligent. The Scottish is the same thing for me, Stone. And so for me, I go watch those shows and I look and see what some of the judges say. I don't think they're the greatest judges in the world. I don't think they're the greatest artists in the world. That's the whole point. Look at the style that people use to get where they think they're going to create a likeness of a portrait, which I do not do portraits. I do not do likenesses. I can look at images and just make them look like the image. But if you wanted me to paint a face that looked like the face, I'm out of here. It's not my gift. But for me to go back and every day sketch something for a few minutes with a cup of tea, I keep this rule just like I talk about it all the time. 20 minutes a day will change who you are. Okay. All right. So sketching is probably the thing that's taught me the most other than just paint. If I can sketch it, for heaven's sakes, I can get it painted somehow. And I'll change the wood on it. Some of you were part of buying a piece the other day that I painted that had a bass on it. Here is a part of a violin that I painted for my grandson. Yeah, just part of one. And I've probably done this 4 times, and I just keep adding a little bit here and there. I only wanted a half of a violin. Why? I just did. I just like this unfinished journal sketch I did. I know there's a violin there. I don't have to paint the whole thing to prove I can paint a violin. I just want to play with this and go, I want to frame that. And so I kept this one. I sent him one for his room, and I sent him one for his violin teacher. And they all look a little different. And it's fine that this runs together here. It doesn't bother me a bit, this where the F hole is here. And so this is the bridge that I really didn't even put in. I penciled it there a little bit, and I just backed off and quit. And you notice that I did this in 2020, and I didn't put a date on it, so I should probably do that. I did it during COVID. Okay. So, and I keep that up here. All right, so here we go. Here's what I'm going to do today. So these are gouache colors. Let me zip in on this just a little bit. Take a look. They sent me this tub of colors, and they had them labeled. This reminds me of a miniature basketball court. I'm just such a crazy person. Here's the colors. They represent just exactly what they are. This is gouache, and this was a trial test run from Niji, N-I-J-I, with Yasutoma, and they called them Artist Poster Color Gouache Artist. And so I said, please don't call them poster paints, because people are going to think they're those cheap paints that you get for kids to put their fingers in and create cheerleading photo or works of art, or kids do those little things down the hallways of schools, which I love them because kids make them. But it's gouache paint, and I wanted to call them Oh My Gouache or something like that. Anyway, I gave them some play on terms. But I think this gouache is going to stick to what I need it to stick to today. So, by the way, this has never been opened. So I'm just going to take some colors out. I'm just going to pull them out as I think I need them. I'm going to put my watercolors aside, and I'm going to make myself a little palette here like this. All right, then I'm going to show you where we're headed today. Out off the chain, all right? It's going to be a crazy day. I made myself a little dam in here so that this is a butcher's tray, porcelain butcher's tray, because I think I want some of these colors. And if I want to mix them in here a little bit, I'll use this and add a little water, but I don't want much water in this. I'm going to paint this kind of dry like it is. And here's what I'm painting. Are you ready? I would love to have the story, but I don't have it. I actually was, the story is I went to walk a guy's dog and he wasn't at home. Came down the hallway and he had this old painting in his house, and I just took it. I thought, that's my payment for walking the dog. So I didn't really steal this painting. I got it while we were helping a person move. And she just said she had 2 paintings, one from France and one from somewhere else. The one that looked like the French reproduction, all these are reproductions. Well, this one's actually signed. Not like a reproduction, but I gave it to a local bakery because they have a French motif. And the guy said, hey, I'll trade you this for a croissant. He goes, you're the craziest man I ever met. And I go, yes. Okay, 2 croissants. And so here it is. Here's the painting. You ready? All right, what's this? I'm going to go here. Boom. And it's in a gold frame. So I really stole it. I really took it. I really brought it home. We were helping them move, and they went, we don't want the rest of this stuff. Can you take it to Goodwill or somewhere? So we loaded up a couple of these paintings. This painting has been sitting in my garage for probably 5 years. So this week when I was cleaning out the garage, I went, today it either goes to the bakery, or I was standing there looking at it and I thought, I want to paint on this. Yes, I want to paint on this. So here we go. So I got to have some nice music. It's a lot of dough for a painting. 2 croissants. You are the craziest man I ever met, but I love it. All right, so I'm going to need some painting music here, and I think I'm probably going to just start with, let's see what this sounds like. Oh, yeah, that's cool, huh? All right, so I see these women in the flower market. Okay, they're here. They're running around. This is a. I don't know if it's Paris. I don't know where the street is. It's in New York City. It's definitely in the 30s or 40s. Take a look. And so I thought this artist painted this big scene. This whole big. I mean, this thing is gigantic. This thing is this big. Look, it is 36 by 26. Okay, so 26 by 36 canvas. He's painted the back building, the street light. Here's the guy sweeping up the flower petals, you know. Here's the women that are meeting in the market. Here's the ladies who they're coming to shop. This lady has on an apron. I thought this was void. I just thought this is empty right here. And so what this needs, if you ask me, is this needs a rooster who's come to the market to buy flowers. For his anniversary. Eiffel in love with Paris. This is going to be fun. All right, the noise we hear is a long gone artist turning over in their grave. Yeah, don't you think that's funny? So, out of the box, you know, like, who's Henry? And who cares? All right, I don't. People are going to be painting over my stuff someday. So, what I thought I'd do is just, I may just use some colored pencils here. And I've got a few here, and come in and just sketch where I think I want to put this rooster. All right. So here we go. What's this? Here's a little bit of blue, watercolor green. All right. So I think what I want to do is let me turn this music down a little bit. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in right here, and I think I just need a regular pencil. I don't have a regular pencil. All right. I think this rooster's going to be huge. I think he's going to be so giant, and you think, oh, they think they're going to be attacked by some giant rooster. No, I think he's just going to be talking to them about flowers. So I think right in here in this window, I'm probably going to put his beak, and then I want to see this lady, so his tail feathers are going to go up over this roof. This is definitely, it could be oil. This thing's probably about 40 years old. All right, so here we go. All right, so this was why I painted this Roo right here. You don't think he's going to be that big? Nah, that's no fun in that. This is a Godzilla Roo, okay? And I don't want his. Oh yeah, this is going to work right there. That's perfect. All right, so I'm going to hide a little. Oh man, I was hoping that I'd. Oh well, she's gone. Sorry, lady. You're behind the rooster, so to speak. Okay. So, and then he's going to come in. His legs going to come down here like this. All right. So that's you can't see that, but I can't either, really. All right, here we go. This should be fun. I'm gonna have to pencil him in just a little bit, or pin him in maybe, so I can see what's going on. In my style, he would be in a little bit of pen. So let's see if this pen will draw on this. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. See that? Waddle right there. There. Comes down here like this. That's a great sound, isn't it? Oh my gosh, that's a cool sound. All right, that's not writing on it either. I'm gonna have to go to the. It looks like, to the Flair pen or the Sharpie route. Where's Jason when you need him? Get a Sharpie somewhere. Okay, so here we go. Let's see one more time here. Oh baby, we're cooking now. All right, there's no going back now. I love it. I don't want to take too long to do this because I don't want this lady hidden by. I think she's in a bad place. I'll tell you that. She's not in a good place. But I want some detail right here. This lady's where she's gone. Okay, and then I want this rooster. The foot that I do when I'm painting the books. I have this little foot that hangs out like that. Okay, and so there it is right there. There's the rooster that I'm going to paint. $45. Skeeter Pal says 40. I couldn't even. Skeeter, you know what, dude? If this thing turns out, I'll let you hang it in your Yeah, we'll just give the money to Lily. I'll let you hang it in your art world down there in Greenville. All right, here we go. Let's see. I got some big old brushes here, but I need a big old brush to get in there with. Here's one right here. Look at this. All right. So this is my first. I'm using this gouache straight out of the. Here, let me show you. Let me show you this. Let's see if I picture. Here we go. I'm using this gouache straight out of the bottle, just like this. Just literally wet my brush and dipping it right in like this because I want this to go on almost like acrylic. So here we go, people. I've waited on this for just since I thought about it 2 days ago when I found it in my. I found it in the cotton picking garage and went, I am going to paint on that. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, it's working. It's going to stick to it. That's the first test. I'm going to need a little water over here, though, just to wet that brush just a little bit more. I need this. I don't want it to roll away. Yeah, see there? If I get it too, see, it wants to come down the hill. But I'll tell you what it's going to do. It's going to give me some holidays in there. So I'm going to have to paint, dry brush this like one would dry brush acrylic. Oh, that's good. All right, so let's put a little bit of this red right here. And then a little bit right here. That's good right there. Okay, now I'm going to move my water over here a little closer. This is so, I'm nuts, I know. All right. Okay, let's go in and get some, what do we got here? We got chrome yellow. I have no idea what these colors are. Know anything about this paint other than it's poster gouache. Oh yeah, look at that. That's good. And I'm gonna do like I do in watercolor. I'm gonna run my colors into each other so I get a little bit of. I also don't paint. I also do not paint vertical. So. Hey, I'm giving some of you a new idea. You're going to be going to Goodwill today, and for $5, you're going to buy a painting that you've never seen before, and you're going to be going like, let's just do something with that, okay? And here's something that I'm going to do. Watch this. I'm going to take my brush. Let's see if I can get a desk shot. I'm going to take my brush and instead of washing it out each time, to clean it out, I'm just going to take the excess paint and put it somewhere in the rooster so that it just sort of starts blending in here. All right, so we'll do that. Now I'm going to wash it out a little bit now. Get a paper towel, dry it off some. I don't want the next too rushed. Where's my model? I need a little bit of dark green. What do we have here? Oh man, this is a cool looking green. What's this? I'm sure all this will be on the rug before I'm done today. Okay, here we go. So I need a little bit of this coming down right in here, just like that. Yeah, got a little bit of green in there. That gets lost in those trees just a little here. The tree needs a little green in it anyway. All right, so come back in here. Remember I told you I was just going to start filling up that area back there with a little bit. Goodwill, here we come. I can see you guys going to Goodwill and suddenly going like, hey, this is what I do. I discover something out there and I go like, this is going to be awesome. All right, I'm going to do his tail so I can get everything else into perspective. And you know, I don't know why I'm shaking this. It's like cement. Wait a minute. I'm off the wrong camera again, handheld. Okay, this paint is like cement in these tubes. Look at this, a little bottle of tubes, okay. Oh my gosh, Goodwill, nothing. I have plenty of old paintings in my storage. I can grab and add to them, give them new life. I love it. Well, go get busy. All right. And, all right, so here we go. Oh, yeah, look at this. This is going to be cool right here. All right, this is why I don't oil paint right here, people. This is why I don't oil paint, if you didn't hear that line. And the reason being that you just have to push paint around forever, and I just don't like pushing paint around. I like to put the water in and let the paint roll down. That's really what I love about painting. I love how the paints mingle together instead of me having to force them together. But I will say this. I love that loose little feathery look that Gouache will give you, and I've been told that it does. Remember, I told you I don't paint with gouache or nor squash, but as you can see, I want this rooster to be pretty forceful in the market here. He's come in, and he's not come in to create havoc. Heck no, he's come in to create, how we doing, half hour? Shoot, I can pull this off in a half hour. If you guys will hang out with me here, I got this. All right, so let's go down in here, get some of this, bring it in, and let's see. Gonna put a little across our dress right there. That's a mess. Let me see if a little water would help that, just to get it to. Oh no. Okay. I need a little more blue in there. That's just not doing what I wanted to do. Painting over canvas is so. Look, learn from me. You're gonna need some gouache. You're gonna need some. I'm gonna let me zoom in on this a little bit. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Hold on one second here. All right, hang on. Let's see if I can turn this camera around just a smidge right here and come in on that tail just a little bit so you can see a little better. All right, I'm adjusting another tripod here. Golly. Boy, technology is a bird. No pun intended. All right, there we go. That's a little better. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the lid back on this, and then I'm going to wash my brush out. I may have to just get up and leave the room and go change some colors, but I'm going to go in with a little sky blue in here also, just to add a little bit of this sky blue into these feathers. Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to be nice. Now I'm getting a little better stroke because I'm getting paint over paint, and you can see what's happening there like that. That's good. I like this right here where this is coming down right over this lady's head right here. There's something funny about that. She's looking like, oh. That's not the view that I would have expected when I came to work today, but I got it. That's the view that you get sometimes. All right, so there's a little more blue in there. Now this is getting a little too much down here, but you see him, he's coming together. I make myself laugh and I love it. It's just too funny. I can see it now. People going like, "Oh, do you love that piece of art for your house?" You go, "Nope, painting over it. Don't love it, don't care for it, don't want it. Just going to paint a big old raccoon right in the middle of it." Okay, so here we go. I'm thinking this needs a little bit of a bottom end, just the purple that I like to do in there. Picking up a lot of this and just bringing it in for the bottom end of that roux and letting it mix with those two colors right there. I've just given myself an idea, though, and I'm going to call Phoebe at Yasutoma first thing Monday and say, "Hey, I owe you guys an apology for not liking this paint when I was in Orlando. I was just painting on the wrong substrate. I don't like it for paper, but man, do I love it for goodwill." That is too cool. Okay, and so I'll also tell her to send me some more because I've got this giant, wrong lid. Don't want to do that. I've also got this giant lobster that I need to paint on canvas, and so this will be perfect for my lobster. I need some orange. Loving the look of this right now. Stop. No. I got to do the bottom end. Got to have a little bottom end. And don't tell me to stop yet. We haven't had the fun part yet. Okay, so we got to have a little bit of orange right in here just to give the rooster his body. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a lighter color and box that in and get some dark right in here. This lady's got to go as much as she's in there. It could be a rooster angel, and they're just seeing it for the first time. That could be the ethereal, isn't somebody who does ethereal angels, So you go like, "Hey, he's there. Did you see that?" See what? Okay, but I don't think that's where I'm going to go with this joke, this caption. All right. Okay, that's running down like crazy, so that's just going to have to. I got too wet. Whoa, there's some nasty color. All right. Excuse me, I have a cough today. Let me have some tea here. And Jurassic Roux. Everybody okay? I'm hanging in there. Hey, Can you imagine though that? Hey, think of what this would be like if you went and seriously bought 8 little 8x8s for 8 kids, and you show up in the classroom and you just said, paint something in your style that goes inside this place, in this marketplace, or so buy your paintings accordingly, and see where they're going to go, see where they're going to take you. I think that's going to be the fun part of this. I'm using a number 8 Dynasty brush. I'm not using one of my Cheap Joe's brushes today because I didn't know. That's too wet. Wow, the black is really wet. It's not going to go anywhere. So I might get some to stay up in there like this just by putting a couple pieces in. Have a little black highlights in there like so, and letting it come down here and turn gray. And then maybe you can box her in just a little bit like that. And I wanted some brown to come in, so there's my brown coming from that black going into that little bit of orange up there. Ooh, that's cool. All right. So, I don't think I'm in the way. Now I think you can see. Oh shoot! I'm so sorry, man. I do need a assistant this morning. Back to the painting, Waldo. Where's my studio producer that says, "Hey, dummy, you're in the wrong place." Okay, so now I'm going to have to cover that up some. I need a little bit of white to go over that black and create some gray in the body, because I always love a little bit of gray down in the body. So let's just go in there now and get some of this thick white and punch it right in here just like this. See if we can hide that lady right here. You're gone, ma'am. I liked you, but as my dad would say, I love you in the abstract, son, but I don't love you in the concrete. So get out of the frame. He was a funny man. I don't even know if he knew what he was saying was that funny. But I think about it now and it makes me laugh. All right, that is so good right there. That is just too good. Look at that rooster coming together. All right, now what I'm doing is I'm just letting the colors blend a little bit here. And still want some holidays, but the lady's missing now. She's gone, and I'm a happy camper. I'm gonna leave that piece of green right there. A little sunshine coming in there on it this morning. A little sunshine on the tail up here, just catching a little morning sun in the market. See, there's a little light coming in on her. She's looking right at him. Now I'm going to bend this down with a little feathersome here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Like so. Getting there, huh? We're getting there. Got a rooster in the market. Still needs a little bit of depth in the middle of him somewhere. And I think a piece of dark green might cause that to come out a little bit. So I'm going to grab some dark green and go right in here with a dryer brush. Hey, I have no idea. I'm just making this up as I go. All right. I know y'all are saying, seriously? This is kind of nuts, but I love it. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. One wing can feed the family. All right. I think you guys are seeing it now. All right. So, oh, yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. And that's where I'm going to get my turquoise. See, coming into that with the purple. Terry Tardy, I was trying to figure out how I was going to get you in there, my dear, and I figured it out right there. I just looked at that dark green, and I thought, if I throw that dark green in there, it's going to give me my Terry Tardy turquoise. Look at that, people, okay? And a little dip green wing right here, a little shadow coming down so these white points stand out. One of the things you can do with this is that this brush is allowing me to make some feathery looking moves in it. I'm going to zoom in on him just a little bit more here so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at his feathers here. There they are right there. See these right here? That's kind of that fun little swoosh, push, push, swoosh, push, push. Okay. And let's see. He is in a flower garden, so he's going to be kind of bright. I do want to come down with some more yellow. I want to come back to this chrome yellow with I need a dry paper towel here. Oh, I still got green paint in it like crazy. All right, let me pull out a little bit on the camera. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. I think you can just about see all of him right there. Okay. All right, I'm cleaning this brush out. Man, that green is like... I never like cleaning out the paintbrushes at the end of the day. The ones that the painters, they would all say, okay, we're done painting. My dad had a construction crew, right? We're done painting. Come clean out the brushes. I'm going like, painters should clean out their dadgum brushes. That's not my job. But it was when you're the low guy on the totem pole. And look at where it got me. I'm painting roosters on somebody's painting. I love it. Okay, but I ain't right with myself. Okay, there we go. A little bit of that right there. Come back in. A little bit right here. A little spot of yellow. I'll come back in and put an eye in there with a Sharpie. Let's put a little yellow right here, just down in here to catch some little yellow feathers coming down. And now I'm going to start to build that leg. And I'm going to use a little bit of yellow to build that leg. Here it comes in right here. I was watching I'm watching this show. I think I told you, just mentioned a minute ago, called The Portrait of the Year. And it's like, can you paint a portrait in 4 hours? And I think the show would be more fun if you said, could you paint a masterpiece in 4 minutes or even 40 minutes? That would be so much more of a fun show to watch. It's like 4 hours. Who wants to stand around in here for 4 hours? I'm not doing that. So for me, I think that's what's going to be fun, is to create a show where you just have to stand around for 4 minutes. All right, the picture is getting funnier and funnier. The rest of my family is looking at me oddly. My family always looks at me oddly, so don't worry about it a bit. All right, so let's see. I'm putting some lids back on here. White is now on the black. That's not good, is it? Nope. All right, I'm changing that. I'm putting the black lid back on the black bottle. That's good. That's good. All right, so I've got some rust. I need a little rust here, and I'm gonna take some of this rust, and I'm cleaning my brush out. That's what I'm doing right here. My gosh, I need a running sink up here in my studio. Okay, so now I've got to come down for just a little tilt to get into these. Nope, that's not going to move. Wow, that tripod doesn't kid around. Okay, so there it is right there. There he is right there. There he is standing in the market. I'm taking a little bit of this rust now, and I'm going to come in, just a touch of it, and I'm going to bring some little bit of orange to these legs. See there? So you didn't think I was going to leave them all that yellow, did you? Maybe you did. Okay, so who cares? But I do. I care a little bit. Not much, or I wouldn't be messing up this painting. All right, see what I got. I got 20 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up and put a caption on it. But to wrap it up, I have to get really creative here and finish it up. This work right here, where, let me tell you what's happening. I'm going to show you a close-up of something that's happening. All right, I'm moving the camera, so hold on. I'm coming in closer, and then I'm going to zoom right in on something that I want you to see. Okay, let's see if you can see it right here. Come on in right there. We're going to go to a manual focus. Let me see if it'll focus for me. Come on, baby, focus for me. Hey. Oh, wow, I'm not doing this. Focus. Here we go. Manual automatic focus right there. Okay, look at this right here. Okay, can you see what's happening right here? Right in here, there's a spot that's happening that is the coolest thing yet. This little green piece right here, the gouache is separating from the canvas and the back straight. And so what's happening is it's leaving all these little warbles and tributaries that I didn't expect. So I'm literally getting something that I didn't think I was going to see. And so this, I think I'm done, okay? And here's why I think I'm done, except for the finishing touch I want to put on it. Here's why I think I'm finished. I think I'm finished because you don't know if he's there or not, because he still blends into the market, but you do know he's there because, I mean, he's bigger than the house. And so what I'm going to do now is I'll probably have to come in a little bit when this gets dry and I'll probably have to put the toenails in, probably, as I tell Terry Tardy all the time, or let's just see if it does it now. If it's dry enough, nope, it's not. Okay, so I'm going to have to wait until that dries till I come in and put the rest of the marks in to make his to make the what am I trying to say? To make the detail in his legs. But right now I'm going to take this Sharpie and I'm going to paint. Oh my gosh, can I do this? Let's see. Can I? Okay. I want to paint. I want to paint this. I want to paint. Here's what I want to paint right here. I want to paint right here. I want to come down like this and come back in like so. And then I want to come out here and come back into here like this. And then I want a piece here and then across here and then here. And then I want this stem to come up here and come down. And then I want the petals to come down like this. I think you see where I'm headed with that. I wanted a tulip, and I wanted a tulip in the market. And the reason I wanted a tulip is to sell my pitch here. The rooster says, "Excuse me, ma'am. Now you can fill in the thought." No. Yes, sir. I can still see the market. I love that you can still see the market. Thank you. Me too. That just sort of makes me laugh. All right, so here's what I want to do. I just want to go in here, get some of this, and I want to just do this little wayward tulip here. And then I think I want a little bit of rust in this tulip too. These wash will never be the same. I've got to get Phoebe to watch this. Phoebe, thank you guys at Yasutoma for for sending me these colors that I'm having fun with today. So I want you to know, I give you guys the credit. It's a great little set. Here they are again on my desk. Let me just show you what the desk looks like. Boom. Here they are right here. Here's all they are marked as Niji artist poster colors. Gouache artist is how they're marked. And they're really cool. I'm just going to tell you. But I don't paint with gouache. But sometimes on the right paper, or now in this case, for heaven's sakes, with the right painting, go and be an artist. This reminds me of painting over the dogs playing poker is what this reminds me of. Okay. And it's taken me a little bit to get this to cover. It's not covering really well. All right, so I need a little bit of green right in there like this, and then I need some brown. It doesn't have brown in here, so that's a little concerning. Rust didn't get me there. A little black will help me just with a touch right here, just on some of these shadows parts right in there, just to let that kind of be. And I just want this to be a tulip. Yeah, see, it's a tulip, and I don't want the tulip to be looking like it's too healthy. I want it to be leaning over. Why did I put that color up there? Because I'm just like a knucklehead. Yes. Camera again. I know. Switch back. I forget to come back. All right. So doesn't take me long to forget. Remember? You know the problem. I think Dr. Jim Poole told me this one day. My problem is I need a longer short-term memory. That's what I need. A longer short-term memory. So you got some flower market back in there. You got some stuff. I'm not going to change any of that. I just love it too much to change it. All right. So 10 minutes to go. All it needs is a caption. I see Coco in some fun paintings. There you go. It's happening. Now the story comes in. It's tulip time in Holland, Michigan. Yes, of course it is. But you know what the caption's going to say, right? You'll have to tune in later to see, because I know what it's going to say. All right, so you see this big rooster. He's in the market, And he's asking those ladies, see, they're both turned to him right here. They're getting his attention. She's looking and he's saying, hey, my bride needs. Okay. And then I know where it's going to go. Let's see. I got 10 minutes. I might get the caption on here. I'm creatively putting the lids back on my gouache so that, I don't know why I think so. You can turn them over and they don't fall out. This is probably Rube safe paint here that I'm dealing with. It's the first paint I've ever had that you can't turn over and spill on yourself. All right. It all comes back but one bottle. So, oh, there it is. Sky blue. So here it is again. Here's all my colors. This is what I painted it out of right there. They're gouache. They're called poster colors by Niji, N-I-J-I, Yasutoma. And I'm telling you, I'm going to show you one more time. Take a look at this. When I take the top here, I'm going to do this right here in front of you on this camera. Let me just come down here. Another $50, Skeeter says. All right. Let me go to my desk shot. Take a look right here. Okay. Here it is. See that? Look at this. No, it hasn't budged. In fact, you're going to need a palette knife. In fact, I even thought of painting this. I laid them out here today. I even thought about painting this with a palette knife, just grabbing some of it on the end of my palette knife like this and coming in. I won't do that until I get it on the handheld. Coming in right here and just coming in here and painting it from a palette knife. Look at that. In fact, I think I'm just going to do just that. Oh my gosh. Where was I when I started doing this? I thought about it about 7:30 this morning, and I thought I should just paint this with palette knives and just come in and just let it go in like oil paint, like a knife painted oil. And then I got carried away and didn't do it. Oh, that is just too good. Man, it's the little things that I love. It just blows my mind. All right, and then let's see what else we got here. Let's go back for a little more of that blue up there, just with a little palette knife. Another couple minutes on this, man. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let me wipe this palette knife off before I stick it in the other tube. Stick it in here. I've got the blue right here. Got a palette knife here. In fact, this palette knife is a little large. Let's go for a smaller one. Look at this one right here. Okay, just come in right here. Grab the back side of that palette knife and just come in and just let it sort of fill in like that. That's really cool right there. I think I just dropped that on my pants, but they're black, so we're good. Had a couple comments yesterday saying, you know, you're wearing a white shirt and you're blacksmithing. Well, yeah, you got to have good contrast, okay? All right, so there we go. I'm loving that. It's giving them a real feathery look. And one more place. I've got to have some a palette knife work before I put the caption on this. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Where's the white? Got to have a little bit of white coming in. Scooping up some white right here. And I want the white to come in just like this. Watch this. I'm going to come in here and put those back in that I put in there earlier. Little sparkles across the back. There they are right there. Cut that one down just like this. Cut this one down. One more widened out piece right there. Now I have my model of my rooster. See, where is he? I don't know where he is. Did I throw him away? No, here he is. See, this was kind of what I was going for right here. See these little pieces of feathers. I love those little feathers that come down off the back side. I got hackles here, but then these that come down and cover the wings. So that's kind of where I was going with that look. All right. All right. Doesn't pay to be late when Rue is brushing his hand. Yeah, don't show up late. You'll go, what is that guy doing? All right. So we need a little bit of, I need a little bit of rust. I don't know where I'm going to get it, but I think I'm going to just go to get for some watercolor here and just take a little bit of watercolor on the back of this palette knife and put it right here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to brush some in. I'm brushing in a kind of a dirty brown, just a dirty brown color on top of this, tulip here. And here's why. That's too bright. I want it to just be, I want it to be dirtier and dingier and look like, yeah. Okay, so the caption is going to go right there, and I'm going to have to lay it down on the floor and write the caption out. You'll have to tune in later today to see what this caption says. A longer short-term memory is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I was actually shooting video of my dear friend, Dr. Jim Poole. And he said, I said, Doctor, here's what I want you to say. And he said, that's funny, isn't it? I'm the doctor and you're telling me what to say. And I said, no, that's the way it is. I'm the producer. And so I hear you say these things that are this long. I need you to say that in this space of time. Because people's attention span, like mine, are only this long. And we're also doing fast break. And so he goes, well, what did I say a minute ago? I said, you said, he goes, see, I just need a longer short-term memory. And I literally started shaking the camera and just said, let's go make a cup of tea because I can't recover for a while. So it was about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, and I was shooting a lot of videos for him. He and I talked. We just talked last week, 2 weeks ago. And I love that guy, and he's retired now from his medical practice, but he still loves Fast Brain, and we still talk about all kinds of crazy ideas that we might do and how we help people like me who can focus on certain things, but sometimes just forget what they're going to say. And that's good unless you had a job in radio, which I did. Bill Randall, 650, Dorothy S. Ma'am. And so he goes on. All right. So, all right, here we go. I'm a few minutes from finishing up. I know you ladies can see right through me. That's pretty funny. So this is going to be my Mother's Day painting. And I'm just going to tell you my caption that I think it should say. I'm going to go back to it right here so you can just see it. And I'll tell you the caption. And I'm going to work on it. I'm not finished with the caption. But, you know, here's one thing I don't do is I hardly ever let anybody else tell me the captions because it's not that I'm prideful that way. Maybe I am. But really what I want is I just want the caption to be something the way my brain is wired. And so I really love that concept when it happens like that. And so that's kind of where I'm going to go with that. So I didn't want that in there. Should have let it alone. Hey, put the brush down and back away from the easel. All right. Sharpie coming in for some detail. There's a little, oh yeah, look at that. So you got those feet separated now. Got this, got a little dark coming down here on this. You're going to have to dry that Sharpie off. Put some more marks in there like this. Get a little toenail out there coming in. A little toe there. One there, one there. Just some dots. A little bit of some legs sticking out there. A little bit of a shadow here. I want to do that with, what do I want to do that with? Just a little bit. Yikes! Okay, that's an ugly color. Let's do this. Just a little shadow coming in here. Just sweep that in. Where is some dirty paint? I need some dirty paint. I need some paint that I can pick up dirty here. Let's see. Where is it? There's a little bit of green right there. I'll just take some of that and put it in here in shadow. There's a little bit of shadow coming in there. Okay. All right. So there he is. Gosh, now I have paint all over me, all over everything. I'm afraid to touch it. All right. So I'm going to come back in with the Sharpie so you know, and I'm going to do a couple of things. One is I'm going to just add some more age to this little tulip. And no, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to hold out and let you see the caption that I have a little later and see if any of you were close. My brush, this is why I didn't use one of my good brushes today. It's just all covered up. This is actually a good brush. It's Black Gold by Dynasty Brushes. They sent this to me for free, so I'll give them a little plug today. They sent me a whole pack of brushes, thanks to one of you guys who said, hey, I met one of their representatives in Orlando a couple years ago. Look at this. Yeah, I'm okay. It didn't hurt. I'll have it stitched up after the show. Here's why I don't like gouache. Shoot. Okay, let me see if I can touch my computer here without blowing something apart. All right. Shoot. I'm so sorry. Hey, listen, I'm going to go get a dozen donuts and head down to my grandkids and surprise them Saturday morning. Well, I know they're not watching this. Trust me, they're still in bed. So I'm going to go wake them up and just say, I love you guys. Have a donut on me. And then I'll run away and let their parents deal with the sugar charge. But I got a couple things to take. In fact, I have another check that came in from my Lily Bug. And so, all right, here it is. What happened? What happened is I dropped my my brush. I was wiping my brush off with a paper towel. There's not enough towels and cleaning to do cleanup on aisle 3 here. So here it is. It's all just this mess. Let's look at it before I sign off. And here it is right here. Coming into handheld camera right now. Boom. There it is. Let me pull back so you can see the whole thing. Let's see. That's as far back as it's going to pull, I guess. Here, I'm going to pick up this camera. It seriously is going to be a handheld camera. Okay, there you go. There it is right there. There's the full frame, as you can see. Now I have this big rooster in the market. And he's holding this bad tulip in his foot. And the caption is, boom, 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 boom. Said it. All right. I'm going to write it on there with a new Sharpie, and I'll post a picture of it a little bit later. And yeah, it's kind of fun. All right, so make a run on Goodwill today, and don't pay a whole lot for some old canvases, because honestly, you'll probably never do anything with them except learn a lot. And I just learned a lot. All right. Let me switch this around. Hold on one second. And boom, come back to me for the desk. Come back to me for picture in picture. And I'm out of here like a herd of turtles. And I have a caption in mind. Whether or not I use it, I may drive south and come back home, let this dry so I can lay it down on the floor and have a little time to do some highlighting and detailing with a Sharpie, a better Sharpie. I've kind of colluded this one up or corruded it up, whatever the word is. I'm going to go wash my hands. And happy Mother's Day tomorrow. My wife will be coming home about 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. I've got to buy some flowers. I got to go to the flower market. She's not going to want this, trust me. I love her much, but this is not her style. This is a style for an art gallery where you're teaching kids and for where you're having fun and say, wait a minute. Now you're thinking all the things that you can put creators into and create works of art. Paint over other things and move them on, and let them bring joy and laughter to other people. I dodged it working without a net. You never knew how this is going to turn out. You saw these are brand new paints when I opened them. So Phoebe, once again, Phoebe Lee at Yasatoma, grateful for you, my dear friend. You sent me these. They were in the bottom of the tub with some mineral paper and some other things that you sent. And I thought, what? It's awful heavy paper. And I used one bottle of this. Is kind of knew how it would work, but I treated it as watercolor, and we just made a little palette. So I never put it on other things to see how it worked, as in gouache or light acrylic. But I know I can now do the large lobster. I've got that lobster that's 4 by 8 feet. It's going to take more than this. So, hey, I'll be ordering another box of this for you. Or does this thing come in quart size? All right. Blessings to you all. Have a wonderful day. And then the guy in the left corner is saying, no, just no way. Close, but that's not it yet. All right, I've passed my time. I'm out of here.